Wow, we got 6 in here already. Greetings, greetings. Here's a little shot of the moon. Please excuse the generator in the background. It's not even idling right. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but hopefully we'll have enough power to get through the night. Wow, 15, boom, and 2 thumbs up. Much appreciated. I just decided to go on live tonight. We could just chat and chop it up, talk about some things. Um, yeah, we're up on the hill. It's dark, but I could give you a little shot of the moon there through the trees. It's been snowing up here lately, and yeah, so it's been cold. Been burning wood, chopping wood, running the generator because the solar panels ain't working. Not much sun has been out. Yeah, I just want to kind of hang out and touch on some things, and I'm just gonna flow off the top of the head. There's no set agenda or format or anything. I'm just gonna let it flow, and here we go. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's good out there. Man, life's been rough this new year in the beginning, and even last year. The past few years have just been kind of crazy. It's like these ups and downs, and I guess that's how it is, right? And so I'm hanging in there. Hope everyone is doing the same. Much love to everybody. Yeah, where do we start off? I titled it Missing People, so we will be getting into that. Some of you know I'm in Northern California, a particular part of Northern California. We're in Humboldt County. And up here, there's several counties, nearby, neighboring counties. Like Trinity County is off to the east, and then south is Mendocino County. And that makes up the Emerald Triangle. They call that the Emerald Triangle because of the cannabis industry and all that. So you got that whole scene, and just a lot of different scenes up here. There's a lot of free minds and free spirits up here that come up here and like to get away, and there's other people who have been here before them. And shout out to all the tribes up in this area, and all tribes all over, man. Native peoples and indigenous peoples. Much love. And yeah, you have the whole veteran scene. A lot of veterans from Vietnam came up here to get away from Babylon, from the city life, and yeah, it's a perfect place. It's very beautiful out here. Lots of rivers and woods and just a lot of country. And we have a few small towns as well that are pretty cool, and some are just ghost towns. And in this area, we're well known for Bigfoot, Sasquatch. And we're going to go out there, folks. We're going to get into the missing people, but yet we're going to also get into the fringe. Yeah, Humboldt County. Del Norte is another county north of us that is well known, and that's where they say it's the borderline where the Patterson-Gimlin film was taken. And as of late, I've been hearing a lot more possible information from certain people, what may have occurred up in that area when they filmed that. And it's interesting. You could go to the BDRP, shout out to DDoS, and hear more about that. And I question everything, and a lot of the information out there that's going around, it's interesting. And so it's it's a trip to be in this area. And I'm totally, if you're not knowing, into the Bigfoot thing, Sasquatch, wild man, whatever you want to call it. And I've been put in this place, and so I've been doing my thing. Some of you have been following for a while. Some of you are new to the channel. Welcome. And yeah, I've been meeting a lot of you out there as well that are into the same thing, and we've been collaborating and sharing information, and a lot of the information seems to ring a bell, seems to have some sense, and so we're putting one and two together, and I'm having fun doing that. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy getting out and exploring and finding things and learning things and meeting people, and it's exciting, and I recommend you do it too. We gotta all get back into nature and touch base with it, because a lot of times we're caught up with these devices and, you know, internet and or whatever it may be, you know, the 9 to 5 city life and all that. It could take a toll on you, and so it's good to get in touch with Mother Nature and decompress and, you know, take it in and then get back to it, whatever it may be. And I'm not seeing, I don't know if anyone's like, I don't see any messages or anything. I don't know what's up, but anyway, I'll keep going. So I'm outside on the porch right now, and we've been getting snow lately. It's been crazy. Even up on the coast, further north, on the beaches, some of the beach spots that I go to have been changing a lot, and due to the ocean and just the weather, which is much needed. We need water. We always need water up here. We've been in a drought for several years, and finally, you know, things have been coming through. And yeah, just the other day we went to Trinity County to pick up Pops because he was snowed in, and we have a 4x4 vehicle, and we ended up getting stuck in the snow up there. It was crazy. We had to shovel our way out, and we had some help, and eventually we maneuvered our way out, made it back. It was pretty crazy. I didn't even document. I should have documented that. Would have been funny. So yeah, the weather's been crazy. Just life's been crazy. I don't know for all of you how things are going, but yeah, it's been a crazy year so thus far. So yeah, the missing people, we'll get into it. So I've been mentioning the documentary on Netflix, Murder Mountain, and we're right here. We're just right over the hill, actually, not too far from there now. And I mentioned that's where I get my orbs. This is my orb spot, and I've gotten other activity here that I tied to Sasquatch. And yeah, it's a good place to be. And further north, you know, all the way up, going up north, even into Oregon. I mean, there's just a lot of places where you can get into where you'll find activity, and I recommend Northern California definitely. And I always mention it, you know, I always mention things in my videos. You know, I got to represent this county because I believe this is, you know, this is where it all kicked off back in the day, with the whole Patterson film. If it wasn't for that film, you know, a lot of people have mentioned that, yeah, we wouldn't be in it like we are now, you know. And I think we got to appreciate that, and things come back 360 degrees, and so yeah, I want to bring things back to Humboldt because a lot of people do know about here, but a lot of people don't as well. And I feel honored to be able to represent out here. And I've been in touch with some local squatters here, and just ranchers and all different types of people, native people. Shout out to Inker from Hoopa Tribe. And yeah, I've just gotten a lot of information, tips, ideas, and it's good to be here. And I just feel like the torch has been passed on, and so I gotta hold it down, and it's so rich up here with Bigfoot stuff, you guys. I mean, you name it. I mean, businesses, logos, wood carvings, everything is Bigfoot out here. Just like Mark says over in Colorado, Bigfoot. Everything's Bigfoot up here too, man. And I know there's other towns further up north. I'm sure there's, I've seen other towns in Oregon, and I'm sure getting up into Washington, there's other towns as well like that. And it's like that here. And so I recommend anyone who's interested or passionate, come out, check it out. There's businesses out here that need your business and would love to have you here. And yeah, it's just wild up here. But anyway, back to the crazy mountain. Yeah, so there's a lot of missing people up here, a lot of hills, a lot of space up here, and a lot of things happen. I've heard a lot of stories, and not everything is paranormal or whatever. A lot of it's business and just shit that happens. And you could disappear easily up here for sure. And in that documentary, there's this lady that's looking for her daughter that went missing. And she actually went missing in Mendocino County. We could go inside and check it out because we got some flyers. I've been trying to help her, and I've been trying to do this for a while. It's almost been maybe a year. I just been so caught up with life and things, just haven't had the chance to get to it. But hang in here, get you out of the dark. All right, so Grandpa's hanging out down below. We'll hang out upstairs here. So I got this laid out on the ground here. And so in the documentary, the mother of this young lady comes out, and she comes out all the time from Australia looking for her daughter who went missing. And she actually went missing out of, I believe it was Mendocino County, Rollerville Cafe in Point Arena. And I believe Point Arena, that's down in Mendocino, which is a neighboring county. It's not too far from here. And her case really touched me because, if I'm not mistaken, when she went missing, she was with a friend, and they stopped at that cafe. Excuse me, I'm gonna take off my jacket here. They stopped at a cafe, and that's off the one freeway, which is right along the California coast. So that'll take you straight down the coast. And there's a lot of cases off the one freeway for some reason, especially up here up north. And when she went missing, she's, I guess, supposedly they stopped and went to use the restroom, and she never came back out, which I find very strange. And what's even stranger is that when she went missing, she had no shoes. And so if you're into the 411 topic, you'll know that one of the main things in and I'm talking David Paulides. If you don't know, he writes about missing people, and not only has he written about missing people, but he also did Bigfoot research in my area. So these are things that I've, brought up many times, and so I emphasize it because a lot of my videos, I kind of post them up and expect you all to know like the information that I'm telling you now. But anyway, let me see. Let me get my thoughts together here. So she went missing without her shoes. She was barefoot, and her mom still comes out here, from Australia every chance she gets, and you'll see her in the documentary. And so I've been helping her out, posting up flyers. I spoke to her. I gave her my thoughts, and I talked to her about the 411 phenomenon, and she was very open to it. And but at the same time, she still believes that her daughter's out there, and I hope she is. And if she is, and anyone has any information, please, the number's right there. Another thing was her last name. I know she's Australian, but her last name is Kramer. And so I don't know, that sounds kind of almost like German to me. And if I'm mistaken, let me know. But that's another strange thing in the 411 phenomenon that they talk about, is that people of German descent, for some reason, tend to disappear more. She had a red triangle tattoo. And what else? So yeah, she went missing off the 1 freeway, as well as many other people. And I've also mentioned before that there's a channel on YouTube called Beyond Creepy, and he has a video called Strange Mendocino, and they get into a bunch of cases of missing people, and a lot of them are on the 1 freeway, 1 highway, and very strange cases. And some of it might be, who knows, cannabis related, or who knows, some domestic stuff. But anyway, you could look up her online and get more information on her case. There's people that have reported that they've seen her around, and who knows. And another thing is that her father was part of, I believe, the German military, if I'm not mistaken. And he also had, I guess it might have been while he was in service, a strange episode where, I don't know, some sort of a mental breakdown of some sort. And I'm not too sure on the details off the bat, but if you go online, you could get more information, and that kind of just rang another bell as far as the 411 thing. And I did ask permission, her mom's permission, to be able to do some social media stuff. And I have flyers here, and we've been posting them, and it's been a few years already. Another case, well, here's a journal, and this is an old issue. It's from last year, and I've been meaning to catch up. I've been meaning to do this for a while now. But anyway, this is, Humboldt County, once again, still missing. And it's just, Humboldt County we have the most amount of missing people out of California in this county. And it's crazy. But believable, because just how vast the space is up here and the woods. Anything could go missing. But anyway, look, off the bat, the journal. Here we have 3rd annual Bigfoot disc golf tournament That's how I'm telling you, it's the culture, the Bigfoot culture is deep up here. I'm sure we'll find. I'm sure there's something else here. And I'm not trying to tie Bigfoot with whatever. Who knows? I don't know. There's a lot of UFO reports off the coast here, inland. I get my orbs and strange lights and stuff. So there's a lot of weird things happening up here, and I would imagine closer to the ocean as well. But look at that. Searching for Bigfoot is hard. Finding local scholarship is easy. It's funny. And so yeah, this issue gets into a lot of the missing people that are here, and like I'm saying, I'm just touching on two this time. And the second one is this gentleman here. We'll get into that right now. Maybe I'll do a part 2, part 3 with other cases and stuff. Yeah, I just think it's a bizarre phenomenon. Here we go. And some old case. There's old cases. There's newer cases, and we could get into more detail. I could tell you one off the top of my head that was crazy. It was this, I think, a young lady out of Eureka, and she felt like she was being chased by something or someone, and she ended up banging on the door of a house, and I think they let her in or something like that, but she was like completely, her body was scratched, like she was running through brushes or who knows what. And when they opened, I don't know what the story was exactly, but they opened the door, and maybe she went in for a bit and then ended up taking off, and she was never seen again. And I've spoken to David Paulides on a radio show briefly, and like I said, he spent time up here, and he says that there's not many cases up in this area, but I believe there is that fall under the 411 criteria. And he did mention an area further north. It's called Gasky. Back in the day, some miners, I believe it was like a group of miners that went missing. And I believe he mentioned also several mushroom hunters. And yeah, I find that interesting. I've been keeping an eye out for mushrooms. I love hunting for mushrooms. So this gentleman here, his name is Shannon House, and he's been missing for a while. And I've been in touch with his sister a while back. Yeah, see, October 11th, 2015. So it's been several years. And he was on private property in Kettenpalm, California. Let's see. Yeah, Kettenpalm. And I believe that's outside of Humboldt also, but not too far. It might be Trinity County. And I'm including these just because it's the general area. It's the Emerald Triangle. So for me, it's the same general area for me. It's not too far. And his case was he was having some mental issues. I don't know if I mentioned, but she was having some strange issues. I don't know if you'd call them mental, but some sort of strange behaviors before she went missing, and him as well. And the night he went missing, they say he possibly walked out of the house he was in, and there was a pond nearby. And once again, that's another thing, is that the 411 thing, they always mention water being nearby. And so she was right next to the ocean, the one freeway. The ocean is just right across the road. And him, there was a pond on the property, and they say he was barefoot. And they found a bunch of barefoot tracks leading from the house to the pond, and that was it. So once again, barefoot, last name House. I don't know if that's German as well. And yeah, no trace of him. The pond was only, I don't know, about maybe 3 to 5 feet deep or something like that. It wasn't too deep, and there was nothing in there. And there's more details about his case. You could look him up online as well, I'm sure. And I just thought I'd put this together because these are things that I've thought of, and I'm sure a lot of other people aren't maybe thinking like that. And so if this could be of any help, it'd be great to get any information or anything we can to these families. And got my little rocks and stuff here, putting out some good energy for them. It's my little Bigfoot country map. It's a local map here I've shown. Shows you all the Bigfoot sightings in our county and in our state. And they're sold locally at the gas station. Um, so yeah, missing people. I recommend everyone checking into these cases. And I think, it's up to us, because the authorities aren't doing their job. And it's up to these families to do it on their own. And hey, if we could somehow give a tip or an idea or whatever, um, I'm in. So once again, big shout out to everyone. Thank you for stopping by, and I'm sure as soon as I cut this off, there's gonna be more things that I'm like, oh, I should have mentioned this and that. Um, we'll do another part. And I'll just take a second in case I remember something. But yeah, a lot of strange things happening out here. And so I recommend everyone to keep their eyes open, their minds open, and we'll be in touch.